How's it going, y'all? Back with a new damn video. Let's get right down to it. Eagles versus Saints. Divisional round of the playoffs. And this one right here should be a good game. But we will see what happens. I will say this. This Saints team is still one of the best in the league. Even though they had three shaky performances at the end of the season. The one against Dallas, where they lost. And their offense basically kind of shut down. Where their Panthers, them versus the Panthers, I think they won like 12-9, something like that. Real low scoring. They also versus Tampa Bay Bucks at one point after they just lost to Dallas. And I think the score at one point going into the third, fourth quarter was like 17-3 they were down. But in those times, their defense stepped up. Okay, their defense at first was really shaky, and over those couple weeks where the offense was kind of getting shaky, the defense bailed them out. But I look at all that and I say, you know what? If I'm the Eagles, if I'm Jim Schwartz, that game where they beat us 48-7, first of all, this Eagles team's a totally different team than last time we played them. The last time we played them, we had backups, guys from practice squads, guys we literally just signed off the street that week and put them out there. Okay, and then like Sidney Jones kept getting hurt, or stuff was going on, and Wentz was out there and he was still on the ACL with a screwed up back. So like you had a really injured quarterback. They took away Ertz, who was Wentz's favorite option. Okay. And once they took him away, since Wentz was hurt, and I told you, that was his, that was his security blanket, Ertz, Wentz didn't know what to do. But now we got Nick Foles in there. Doug Peterson, of course, simplifies the offense once again once Nick Foles comes in. Simplifies it, makes it easier for him because he's a limited quarterback. He can only do his limited skill set. He can only do a certain amount of things. So the offense will be limited, but the plays will work. Thing is, they take away Ertz. Nick Foles is going to hit Alshon. He's going to hit Aguilar. He's going to hit all these other targets, like Carson Wentz would have done, like in 2017 if he wasn't, hurt or whatever. But back to what I'm saying, Nick Foles is going to hit these targets. Alshon's going to get some. Nelson Aguilar's going to get some. Golden Tate's going to get some. Jordan Matthews is probably going to get some. Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Sproles, who, let's be real here, okay? I was kind of upset of them bringing back Sproles, even though I wanted him because once again he got hurt, and I was like, wow, okay. But let's be real. Since he's came back from his injury, he has been a key part in this offense in some way or some fashion, whether it be pass blocking, whether it be sweep, doing like, toss options, boom, and having him running for a touchdown. Sweep runs to the right or left side. Jason Peters, too, I was like, I don't know if I want him back. You know what? He kept Khalil Mack in check last week. And he's done a lot this season. Even though he's been hurt and taking plays off, he's done a lot. So, back to what I'm saying, though. This is a different Eagles team that this Saints team is going to see. This is the Super Bowl team, basically. Not the same players. There's different players on the roster. I get it. Blah, 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 blah. I get it. But back to what I was going to say on the defense. If I'm a defense, Jim Schwartz and that defensive unit, because Jim Schwartz calls all the plays, he controls the defense, he's like the head coach of the defense. That game 48-7, when we played them, throw that tape in the trash. Take the tape like this, right? Like this, and throw it right in the damn trash. I don't want to see it ever again. Burn the goddamn thing if you have to. Because there's not one positive thing on that game tape right there when we played them the first time. There's not one positive thing on that damn tape to see. Now, the only thing you could use from the tape is probably see what plays they called and how they beat us on and how we can defend them from it. Okay, so maybe don't burn the tape, maybe don't break it, maybe I'm just exaggerating. But what I would go do is this. I would go get the tape from Dallas versus the Saints. The tape of Panthers versus the Saints, the first game. The one that was 12-9 or whatever, late in the season. I'll pull those games up and see how they defensively matched up against the Saints offense and how they were able to manage to hold them to a certain amount of points and kind of wrap them up, if you know what I'm saying. Because when they did that, that's what you saw. You held them just a little bit. Now, listen, we're not going to be able to hold them like that. Dallas has a better defense than us. Not defensive line, but they have better corners and linebackers and whatever. And I know the Panthers have, Luke Kuechly, and they have some guys. So whatever. I'm not bashing the Panthers or the Dallas. I'm just being honest here. So we're definitely not going to hold them to that low amount of points. Okay, that's for facts. But we should be able to hold them to, okay, instead of holding them to 14 or 10, be able to hold them to 20, 21. Because I'll tell you right now, if we can at least hold them to 21, our offense is going to be able to score in that defense. They should. They should. I go back to when they versus Tampa Bay week 1 of the season where they did lose, but still, the game was like 48 to 40 something. Like that defense they have can be scored on, and we know ours can too. If you see them when we versed them the first time, and they know that too, okay? But our defense has progressively gotten better against the Rams. Then got better versus Texans. Then got better versus that. But I'll tell you right now, if you're in a game with Drew Brees at quarterback, you cannot do what you did in the Texans game. Let them come back and have Foles go down and try to march down and win you the game. Even Mitch Trubisky almost did it on us. These guys ain't nobody. I mean, Deshaun Watson is a beast. I will give him that. But Drew Brees is Drew Brees. You can't let him do that. Don't give him any time on the clock. And if you're up 14 points, don't just blow it. Or you're up 17 points, like you were against the Panthers, or you were against the Texans, don't blow it. I'm not worried about those games, though. This is playoffs. This is a whole different season, a whole different team, a whole different regime. It's a whole different everything. When you step foot in them playoffs, it's a different season. You're 1-0 every week. You're 1-0 every week. The record's out the window because once you step foot in those playoffs, once the playoffs start, wild card, divisional round, first round bye, it doesn't matter. It's a new season, a new beginning. Now, I will say this. I did say go get the game plans from those defenses and see what you can do with them, okay? Which I definitely would. But I started to really think about it. Really, really, really think about it. And I said, are the Saints playing bad on offense? Or are they kind of shutting it down? They're not giving out too much. They're not showing too much on film for teams to be like, okay, in the playoffs we'll do this, and that to stop them. Are they? What are they doing? Are they shutting down somewhat to save face, you know what I'm saying? Save their plays, play it cool, and they know, hey, you know what? Our offense is so good and Drew Brees is so good this year. We can shut it down half of the playbook and still win games by 12 to 21 points. We'll see what happens, but all I'm going to say is this. If the season comes to an end come Sunday, I'm proud of this team. You know, and the reason I say that is because you went from 6-6, where we were 6-7, injured quarterback, great quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt. He was already hurt, played hurt the whole season. Jason Peters couldn't stay healthy. Just so many injuries, just so many things. Everyone thought it was a Super Bowl hangover. And then for the backup, Nick Foles to come back into the game, and you know them to change the offense once again like they did last year, and for him to get this thing going, you know, and to go off on a note like that, it gives me hope for next year. It really does. I'm not looking ahead next year. I think we have a damn good shot at winning this game. I'm not joking. I think we have a shot at winning this game. And you guys know me. I've never come on here and say we have shots of winning games. I'd be like, oh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I still say the same thing. We'll see what happens. Saints have a really good shot. They probably have the better shot than us. Of course, they have the better team, the most healthy, blah, blah, blah. But this team is just hitting at the right time in the right moments. All the wild card teams that I've seen win the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying us win the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying us go. I'm just talking about winning this game. Have got hot in December. The last few games snuck in and started destroying stuff. The Packers in 2010. Giants 2007. You know, just and these teams that are hot, you know, they're 12-4 and all this and that, and they got all these buys and all this stuff. They're the teams that start, like, look at the Rams. They were hot and then out of nowhere in December. Jared Goff played terrible. 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's starting to just plummet down. I know they got the bye now, so they can rest up and learn and see what they did wrong. And they might come out strong against the Cowboys. But at the same time, it might be the Cowboys who comes in and just whoops them. And it's like, wow, first round exit. It's been getting hot at the right time. Do I think this team is hot? I think they are damn hot. I think they're playing like a top defense, but we'll see what happens versus this offense. This is official tissue right here. It should be a good game. That's all I'm going to say. And you know what? I'll say it right now. If they win this game, which we'll see. If they win this game, we're winning the whole goddamn thing. That's just my opinion. That's just the way I see it. I think this is the best offense in the playoffs. in terms of NFC. We'll get to the Super Bowl maybe and play the Chargers or whoever, whatever. I know we have to play LA or Dallas in front of us, but listen, tell me right now, that Dallas team, we see them again in the NFC Championship. If it happens, this is a different Eagles team. And each game we played them, it was close. Overtime, one game. Another game was by like 4 points, 3 points. I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm talking about if we win this game, which is a big if. We'll see. The Saints come out guns a-blazing. They might come out guns a-blazing. I have some confidence in this game, but I don't have much. Like I told you, never lost a playoff game at home. In that stadium, they haven't. That I know of. They haven't lost a playoff game in that stadium. This year, the record's like amazing at home. Drew Brees was having an MVP year, still is, but kind of started dipping down towards the end, which kind of messed up his status. So it's Rivers, Mahomes, Luck, whatever. We'll see though. It's gonna be a fun game, and it sucks I gotta work, but I could watch it at work, but it's just not gonna be the same as watching at home with family and friends or going to a bar or something. But let's go Birds. Let's see if you can pull the upset. And you know the funny thing, the Saints are the guys that are the team that has the bye week and this that. They have more pressure on them to win than we do. We lose, the fans go, yo, you know what? Good season. Can't believe we made it this far. Last year we won the Super Bowl. We thought we had a hangover. We still thought we would get healthy and come back. Nah, we went to the divisional round of the playoffs. Knocked out the best defense in the NFL in the Bears. But if the Saints lose this game, especially being 8.5-point favorites, unless it went down or went up, I don't know what. Last time I checked, there were 8.5-point favorites in that game. As soon as we beat the Bears, that was the betting line. They have more pressure on them than us. They have a hell of pressure. We don't have any. The media's got more pressure on the Saints to win. Everyone's saying the Saints are going to win. 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 And I think they have a shot at winning. Of course they do. They probably will. Okay, but I will see. I just want to have a good time with this game. It's not going to be the same as a blowout like that. If it is, then, wow, that's embarrassing. But let's go Birds. Fly was fly. Comment below on your thoughts. Do you think we win this game? Do you think it ends here? And even if it does end here, do you think it's going to be embarrassing? Or do you think we can somehow hold ourselves this time and kind of show some respect for ourselves against this damn team? Let's go Birds.